If you feel alone in a foreign land, this message from Ibrahim Traoré is for you. Sometimes being in an unfamiliar place, far from home, can feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. The bustling streets, the unfamiliar language, and the strange faces can make you feel more isolated than you ever thought possible. But let me tell you something, you are not alone. Ibrahim Traoré, a leader who has known adversity, knows what it means to feel the sting of loneliness in a foreign land. His journey, marked by resilience and strength, serves as a reminder that the pain you feel is not permanent. Just as he found his way, you too will find your path. Loneliness may feel like an echo in your heart, but that echo is also the sound of growth. It is through moments of solitude that we discover our own strength, our own purpose, and our own ability to rise above. You are not weak because you feel alone. You are strong for facing the challenges that come with starting over, building new connections, and learning new things about yourself. Ibrahim Traoré speaks to all of us who have ever felt displaced, who have ever struggled to find belonging in a new place. His message is simple but powerful. Hold on. You may not see it now, but the connections you seek, the comfort you long for, and the peace you yearn for will come. The foreign land you find yourself in is not your enemy. It is a place of opportunity, of transformation, and of self-discovery. Every step you take, every challenge you face, is a step towards growth. You are learning to adapt, to thrive, and to stand tall in a world that may seem strange at first. Remember, feeling alone does not mean you are abandoned. It means you are learning how to stand on your own feet, how to trust your own instincts, and how to navigate life in a way that's uniquely yours. Even when the world seems distant, the strength within you is always close by. Take comfort in knowing that you are not the first person to feel this way, and you will not be the last. People before you and people after you have walked this path and emerged stronger, wiser, and more connected than ever before. You are part of a larger story, and your chapter is just beginning. So when the loneliness feels overwhelming, remember Ibrahim Traoré's message. Hold your head high. Trust that this moment of solitude is leading you to a place of strength. You are not alone, and you never will be. The world may feel foreign, but it is yours to shape. Your journey is yours to claim. Feeling alone in a foreign land can be one of the most challenging experiences anyone can face. The unfamiliarity of a new environment, the distance from loved ones, and the difficulty in understanding and being understood can make isolation feel even more profound. It is a unique kind of loneliness, a blend of homesickness, confusion, and sometimes fear of not belonging. However, it's crucial to remind yourself that loneliness, like any other feeling or experience, is temporary. It is not a permanent state, nor is it a reflection of your worth or your ability to adapt. When you are in the midst of loneliness, it can feel as though it will never end. The days may seem long and the nights even longer as you wrestle with feelings of being disconnected from the world around you. But, just like any tough moment, this too shall pass. Time has a way of healing wounds, softening the sharp edges of discomfort, and providing the distance needed to reflect on what has been learned and how much you've grown. In the early stages of being in a foreign land, loneliness may feel like a heavy weight you carry on your shoulders. It can feel like an overwhelming presence, almost as though it is always hovering just above you, no matter how much you try to push it away. You might feel like you're walking through a maze, where every corner you turn only leads to more confusion or frustration. But it's important to recognize that these feelings are a natural part of adjusting to new surroundings. They are a sign that you are navigating new territory, and as with anything new, it takes time to get used to. The crucial thing to remember is that you are not stuck in this state forever. The pain of loneliness will fade. The sharp sting of unfamiliarity will soften. You will start to see familiar faces, even if they are not from your home country. And over time, you will begin to understand the local customs, the culture, and the language better. The sense of alienation you may feel now will eventually give way to a more comfortable, confident version of yourself. Someone who has not only survived the challenges, but learned to thrive in them. As time goes on, you will gradually build new connections. You will meet people who, although strangers at first, will become a support system for you. They might be from different parts of the world, just like you, or they may be locals who offer kindness and understanding. Each conversation, each smile, and each shared experience will help bridge the gap between your old life and your new one. Slowly, the loneliness will diminish as these connections begin to create a sense of community, a feeling of belonging. The sense of connection is not something that happens overnight. It is something that builds gradually, piece by piece, as you open yourself up to others and allow new relationships to form. But once it does, it will feel like a lifeline. You'll start to feel like you are part of something greater, that you are no longer an outsider, but a participant in the broader story of the place you now call home. It's also worth noting that this period of loneliness can lead to a deeper understanding of your own emotional resilience. You may discover strengths and coping mechanisms you never knew you had. When we are pushed out of our comfort zones, we often surprise ourselves with the ways we rise to the challenge. Loneliness, while painful, is also a teacher, helping us learn to be more independent, more self-sufficient, and more self-compassionate. The key to overcoming loneliness in a foreign land is to be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself during the moments when it feels especially hard. Give yourself time to adjust and allow yourself to feel the emotions that come up without judgment. It's okay to miss home. It's okay to feel lost at times. These feelings are all part of the human experience. They are signs that you are adjusting, learning, and evolving in ways you might not even realize yet. As you continue to navigate your way through the foreign land, know that the feeling of loneliness will become less intense with each passing day. You will find your rhythm. You will discover places that feel like your own. You will find activities or hobbies that bring you joy. And before you know it, those moments of solitude will no longer feel so isolating. Instead, they may become moments of peace and reflection, where you can appreciate how far you've come and how much you've grown. Ultimately, the feeling of loneliness is not a reflection of your ability to adapt or your ability to belong. It is simply a natural part of the process of starting anew. The people, experiences, and connections that will help you feel at home are out there, waiting for you to find them. It may take time, but they will come, and when they do, the loneliness you once felt will seem like a distant memory. So hold on, stay patient, and trust that this phase is just a stepping stone on your way to discovering the richness and beauty of your new life. Loneliness, particularly in an unfamiliar place, can often feel like an emotional burden. When the world around you seems unfamiliar and you feel disconnected from the people and places you once knew, it's easy to view loneliness as something to avoid or escape from. But what if loneliness, instead of being something to fear, could be embraced as a profound opportunity for self-discovery and personal growth? When you find yourself alone, especially in a foreign land, the initial instinct might be to fill that space with distractions, be it work, social media, or seeking out superficial connections. But in moments of solitude, you are granted a unique opportunity to look inward, to examine your thoughts, emotions, and desires without the noise of the outside world. It is in these quiet moments that you begin to uncover who you truly are, far beyond the roles, labels, or expectations that have been placed on you by society, family, or even yourself. Self-discovery in times of loneliness is not always an easy or comfortable process. At first, it may feel like an intense confrontation with your fears, your insecurities, or the parts of yourself that you have been avoiding. You may come face to face with feelings of uncertainty, doubt, or inadequacy that you had not previously acknowledged. These feelings, while uncomfortable, are valuable teachers. They challenge you to confront aspects of your personality and your life that need attention. It is through this confrontation that you begin to learn more about your inner strength, your resilience, and your capacity to navigate difficult emotions. What's fascinating about loneliness as a tool for self-discovery is that it pushes you to become more attuned to your own needs, desires, and boundaries. When you are isolated from familiar social dynamics, you are left to rely on your internal compass to guide you. You begin to understand what truly matters to you, what brings you peace, what excites you, and what drains you. You may even find that certain passions or interests, which were buried under the busyness of your previous life, begin to resurface, waiting to be nurtured. As you spend more time with yourself, you may begin to recognize parts of your personality and character that you were unaware of before. Perhaps you discover a quiet confidence that allows you to embrace challenges, or a newfound sense of courage to speak your truth in difficult situations. Maybe you realize that you've been too hard on yourself, constantly striving to meet external expectations, and now you have the space to embrace self-compassion. Loneliness offers you the time and freedom to redefine your self-worth, not based on how others perceive you, but on your own values and beliefs. In this process, you also begin to see your own resilience. Every day that you manage to face loneliness with grace, every time you navigate a moment of homesickness or uncertainty, you are strengthening your emotional muscles. You are learning that you are capable of handling more than you might have thought. And this growing self-awareness doesn't just make you more resilient, it makes you more confident. You become more secure in who you are, even when you are far from everything that once felt familiar and comfortable. One of the greatest gifts that loneliness can offer is the space to dream. When you're alone, without the immediate influence of others' opinions or expectations, your mind can wander freely. You begin to ask yourself bigger questions. What do I truly want from life? What legacy do I wish to leave behind? What does happiness look like to me? Not based on what society tells me, but from my own perspective. These questions allow you to dive deeper into your purpose and passions. They provide the clarity to recognize the direction in which you want to head, rather than simply drifting along with external influences. As you move through this journey of self-discovery, you may also begin to develop a sense of self-reliance that feels empowering. Loneliness often teaches you to become comfortable with your own company, to trust that you are enough as you are, and that you don't need to constantly rely on others for validation or comfort. This newfound self-reliance doesn't mean shutting people out, but rather understanding that you can find strength from within. This can lead to healthier relationships with others, as you no longer seek them out of a need for validation or emotional dependence, but rather from a place of mutual respect, growth, and connection. Ultimately, embracing loneliness as a journey of self-discovery is about viewing the experience not as something to fear or avoid, but as an opportunity to go deeper into understanding yourself. It's about recognizing that you are capable of growth even in the most difficult of circumstances. Through moments of solitude, you can rediscover forgotten parts of yourself, develop new strengths, and come to realize that your worth is inherent, not dependent on external circumstances. When you emerge from the other side of loneliness, whether that's through new connections, new experiences, or simply a stronger sense of who you are, you'll find that this solitude wasn't a hindrance, but a catalyst. It will have shaped you into a more resilient, confident, and self-aware individual, ready to embrace whatever comes next with greater wisdom and courage. Far from being an obstacle, loneliness, in its quiet way, has given you the most profound gift, a deeper connection to yourself. When you find yourself feeling alone, especially in unfamiliar surroundings or during a challenging phase of life, it can be easy to fall into the trap of thinking that loneliness is a sign of weakness. There's a societal tendency to associate strength with constant social engagement, being surrounded by friends or family and never showing vulnerability. Loneliness, on the other hand, often feels like an uncomfortable burden, a reminder that you're missing something or someone in your life. But in reality, feeling alone is far from a weakness. It is, in fact, a powerful sign of courage. It indicates that you are walking through uncharted territory, navigating new experiences, and stepping into a space where growth, strength, and resilience can be cultivated. Loneliness often arises during moments of transition or change. Perhaps you've moved to a new city, started a new job, or are going through a personal transformation. In these moments, you may find yourself disconnected from the familiar, isolated from your usual support systems. It's natural to feel out of place and uncertain. Yet it is precisely in these moments when loneliness is most meaningful. It's not a sign that something is wrong with you or that you're incapable of forging connections. It's simply a reflection of the fact that you are experiencing something new, and new experiences inevitably bring challenges. The discomfort of loneliness arises when you step outside your comfort zone, and it is during this time of adjustment that you begin to build your inner strength. Think of loneliness not as a weakness, but as a call to deepen your self-reliance. When you're alone, you're forced to rely on your own resources, your emotional resilience, your ability to adapt, your capacity to make decisions for yourself. In the absence of familiar faces or social distractions, you are left with only yourself. This can be uncomfortable, even overwhelming at times, but it is also empowering. It forces you to engage with your thoughts and emotions in ways you might avoid when surrounded by others. And in this solitude, you begin to understand more deeply who you are, what you need, and what you want out of life. Being alone doesn't mean you are weak or incapable of forming meaningful connections. Quite the opposite. It means you are strong enough to handle the discomfort of solitude and find ways to fill the gaps in your own life, rather than relying on external sources of validation or companionship. It takes courage to face the silence and sit with your own thoughts without turning to distractions. The emotional endurance it takes to be at peace with yourself, even in times of loneliness, is a form of strength that many people overlook. You are not running away from yourself, but instead confronting your feelings and learning how to cope with them in healthy ways. Furthermore, loneliness has the power to teach you profound lessons about yourself and others. In the quiet spaces where loneliness resides, you are given the time and opportunity to reflect on your relationships, your values, and your desires. It's easy to get lost in the noise of daily life, surrounded by people who may not truly understand you or what you're going through. But when you're alone, you're able to look inward and discover what truly matters to you. You start to become more clear about your priorities, the kind of people you want to surround yourself with, and the kind of life you want to build. This clarity is a form of empowerment, and it allows you to make more intentional choices moving forward. As you go through the experience of loneliness, you also become more adaptable. The initial discomfort of being alone often gives way to a sense of self-sufficiency. You begin to realize that you can manage your emotions without constantly relying on others for support. You learn how to seek joy in the small moments, how to find comfort in your own company, and how to create your own sense of belonging, even when the external world feels distant or disconnected. Over time, loneliness becomes less about isolation and more about the freedom to shape your own experience. You begin to take ownership of your own well-being, and in doing so, you develop a deeper sense of confidence. Another important aspect of loneliness is that it allows you to grow emotionally. The experience of feeling alone can bring up feelings of sadness, fear, or even frustration. These emotions, while uncomfortable, are part of the human experience and have value. They help you become more emotionally intelligent by teaching you how to sit with your discomfort, process it, and move forward. Feeling lonely can also bring up your deepest fears, such as the fear of rejection or the fear of being unworthy. However, it is through confronting these fears head-on that you learn that they do not define you. Your ability to face these emotions, to feel them fully and yet not be overwhelmed by them, is a powerful form of emotional strength. As you continue navigating through loneliness, you also develop greater empathy for others. When you've experienced isolation and disconnection, you become more attuned to the feelings of those around you. You understand what it's like to feel invisible, and as a result, you are more likely to reach out to others who may be going through similar struggles. This empathy strengthens your social connections, even in moments of solitude. You learn that loneliness doesn't have to be permanent. It's a phase that, with time and patience, can evolve into a deeper connection with yourself and others. In the end, feeling alone is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of your courage to step into new situations, to face challenges head-on, and to grow through discomfort. Every time you move through loneliness without succumbing to despair, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you realize. With each step, you become more resilient, more adaptable, and more aware of your inner strength. Loneliness, in its own way, builds the foundation for a more powerful version of yourself, a version that is capable of navigating life's uncertainties with grace and courage. So, rather than seeing loneliness as a weakness, embrace it as a sign of your ongoing growth and your ability to thrive, even in the toughest of circumstances. When you find yourself in a foreign land, it's easy to feel like you've encountered an insurmountable obstacle. The unfamiliarity of the surroundings, the language barrier, the differences in culture, everything can seem daunting and overwhelming. The comfort of home feels distant, and the path ahead may not always appear clear. However, the truth is that this foreign land is not a barrier, but a world full of opportunities. It is a space brimming with potential for transformation and growth, even if it doesn't seem that way in the moment. At first, the unknown can be unsettling. You might feel out of place, unsure of where you belong, or uncertain about how to navigate the complexities of your new environment. It's natural to feel a sense of discomfort when you're immersed in a world that feels completely different from the one you knew. However, this discomfort is not something to avoid. It is, in fact, a sign that you are growing. Every challenge, every unfamiliar situation, and every misstep you make is part of a larger process of adaptation. As you begin to learn the language, understand the cultural norms, and navigate the local systems, you are also learning about yourself. Your strengths, your resilience, and your ability to thrive even in circumstances that initially feel challenging. This unfamiliar land is not just a place of external change. It is a space where your internal world can evolve. The challenges you face here are opportunities to redefine yourself, to step into new roles, and to take on new identities. You are no longer limited by the expectations or limitations that once defined your life. You have the chance to become someone new, someone who is adaptable, resourceful, and capable of overcoming adversity. The discomfort you feel is simply part of the process of shedding old layers and embracing a more authentic version of yourself, one that is shaped by the experiences you encounter along the way. One of the most profound opportunities that a foreign land offers is the chance to learn. Learning goes beyond just acquiring new facts or skills. It involves embracing new perspectives, challenging your assumptions, and expanding your worldview. When you immerse yourself in a different culture, you are exposed to new ideas, philosophies, and ways of living that can significantly broaden your understanding of the world. What you once considered normal or right may be completely different in this new environment. And this exposure to diversity helps you become more open-minded and accepting of others. You may find that some of your long-held beliefs or habits are challenged, but this is not something to fear. Instead, it's an opportunity to grow, to refine your values, and to build a deeper, more nuanced understanding of the world around you. Moreover, a foreign land offers endless opportunities for personal and professional growth. Professionally, being in a new environment often means new challenges and new learning experiences. You might find yourself taking on roles or responsibilities that you never anticipated, whether it's adapting to a new workplace culture, learning a new industry, or developing skills you never thought you'd need. These experiences can help you build a versatile and adaptable skill set. The exposure to different ways of thinking and problem solving can also enhance your creativity and innovation as you learn to approach problems from various perspectives. These skills and experiences are invaluable, and they can open doors to opportunities that you might not have even dreamed of before. On a personal level, the experience of living in a foreign land forces you to step outside of your comfort zone. You are constantly faced with situations that require you to adapt, to learn, and to problem solve. This process of adaptation helps you become more resourceful and self-sufficient. The challenges you face may be difficult at times, but they also make you more resilient. As you overcome obstacles, whether it's figuring out how to navigate a foreign city, finding your way through a language barrier, or adapting to a new social culture, you build a sense of self-confidence that comes from knowing you can handle whatever life throws your way. This sense of self-reliance is one of the greatest gifts you can take with you, and it will serve you well in all areas of your life. A foreign land also offers the opportunity to create new possibilities for your future. When you step away from the familiar, you are no longer bound by the same routines, expectations, or limitations that you once had. You have the freedom to explore new paths, try new things, and take risks that you may have been too hesitant to take before. You may discover new passions, develop new skills, or form new connections that completely transform the trajectory of your life. The unknown is filled with possibility. It's a blank canvas on which you can paint the life you want to create. This space of transformation is not just about overcoming the challenges of living in a foreign land. It's about realizing that those challenges are the very things that make you stronger, wiser, and more capable. The struggles you face today are laying the foundation for the person you are becoming, the person who is more adaptable, more creative, and more resourceful than you ever thought possible. With each new challenge you conquer, you unlock new levels of potential within yourself. The foreign land you find yourself in is full of potential, not just for external success, but for internal transformation. It is a place where you can learn new things, grow in ways you never expected, and create new possibilities for your future. It may be uncomfortable and challenging at first, but that discomfort is simply a sign that you are on the verge of something great. Embrace the journey, because the opportunities waiting for you in this foreign land are not obstacles to be feared, but stepping stones to a new and more empowered version of yourself. The world is full of opportunities, and this foreign land is just the beginning of your journey toward unlocking them. When you find yourself feeling displaced or alone in a foreign land, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the weight of your emotions. The unfamiliar surroundings, the sense of being an outsider, and the loneliness that accompanies such a transition can make it feel as though you are the only one going through this experience. The challenges can feel isolating, and the journey ahead might seem uncertain. But it's important to remember that you are not alone in your struggles. In fact, you are part of a much larger, universal story of transformation, resilience, and growth. You are not the first person to feel displaced, and you certainly won't be the last. Many have walked this path before you, and their experiences serve as a testament to the strength and courage it takes to navigate new environments, face challenges, and ultimately thrive. The feeling of being displaced is not unique to you. Throughout history, countless individuals have found themselves in foreign lands, separated from their homes, families, and familiar comforts. Immigrants, travelers, refugees, and explorers have all shared this experience of being in an unfamiliar space, away from the life they once knew. Each one of them had to face moments of loneliness, confusion, and doubt. Yet these individuals did not simply fade into obscurity. Their stories are part of a larger narrative that continues to unfold to this very day. They are the pioneers who have paved the way for others to follow, offering a legacy of resilience and hope for anyone who is going through a similar experience. When you step into a new world, whether for work, study, or adventure, you are joining this vast, timeless journey of human perseverance. There is strength in knowing that you are part of a much larger network of individuals who have experienced and overcome the same feelings you're currently grappling with. Whether you're in a bustling metropolis or a quiet village, your feelings of loneliness and displacement are not signs of weakness. They are shared experiences that bind you to generations of people who have gone before you. In some way, the very emotions you are feeling have been felt by countless others who have traveled similar paths, made similar sacrifices, and fought similar battles. The stories of those who have come before you hold powerful lessons. They are proof that even in the most difficult of circumstances, human beings possess an incredible capacity for resilience. It's easy to look at your current situation and feel as though you are starting from scratch, but in reality you are standing on the shoulders of giants. People who have faced the unknown, embraced new challenges, and forged their own paths. These individuals have faced displacement, loneliness, and isolation, but they have also found ways to adapt, to grow, and to thrive. Their experiences remind us that it's okay to feel lost and unsure. It's a natural part of the human experience, and it's also a necessary part of the journey. The process of navigating new terrain, of feeling out of place, is often what leads to the most profound growth. Moreover, being part of this larger story means that you have the support of an entire network of people who understand the struggle. Whether they are fellow expats, immigrants, or strangers who have crossed paths in the same way, there is an unspoken bond that connects those who have navigated the unfamiliar. You are part of a global community, and that community's strength lies in the shared experience of overcoming adversity. By acknowledging that you are not the first to feel displaced or alone, you can begin to draw strength from those who have faced the same obstacles. Their stories serve as reminders that transformation is possible, that you too will find your way, just as others have before you. In addition, the challenges you are facing today will one day become your own story to share with others. The feelings of displacement, loneliness, and uncertainty you are experiencing now will eventually become the lessons and wisdom you can pass on to those who come after you. Just as you have learned from the stories of others, one day your journey will inspire and offer hope to someone else walking the same path. The strength and resilience you develop in the face of adversity will be part of the legacy you leave behind, a reminder to others that they are not alone, and that with time and perseverance, they too can overcome the challenges of being in a foreign land. The beauty of being part of a larger story is that it provides perspective. When you feel isolated or lost, it can be easy to focus solely on your own experience. But when you step back and consider the countless individuals throughout history who have faced the same struggles, it becomes clear that your journey is part of something much larger than yourself. You are part of a collective story of human growth and resilience that stretches across time and space. In this way, your loneliness and sense of displacement are not unique to you, but part of a universal process of learning, adapting, and finding belonging in the most unexpected places. The foreign land you find yourself in is not just an obstacle. It is an opportunity to contribute to this ongoing narrative of human perseverance and transformation. Your journey, your challenges, and your eventual triumphs will become a vital part of the story that continues to unfold, one that is filled with countless individuals who, like you, have found the courage to face the unknown and emerge stronger on the other side. So the next time you feel alone or displaced, remember that you are not just a solitary individual in a foreign land. You are part of a larger story, one that spans across generations and connects you to a community of people who have walked similar paths. Your experiences, no matter how challenging, are contributing to this ongoing journey, and one day your story will inspire others in ways you may never fully realize. In the quiet moments of solitude, when the world around you feels distant and disconnected, it's easy to believe that you are truly alone. The absence of familiar faces, the lack of close companionship, and the silence that often accompanies loneliness can make it seem like there is no one to turn to, no one who understands what you're going through. It's in these moments of isolation that feelings of uncertainty, doubt, and fear can creep in, leading you to question whether you will ever find your way or feel a sense of belonging again. But even in these times, it's crucial to remember that you are never truly alone. You are supported by a strength within you that you may not even fully recognize yet. You are connected to others in ways you may not see, and the lessons you are learning in these moments of solitude are guiding you toward brighter days ahead. The first source of strength is the power that resides within you. It's easy to forget this when you're feeling overwhelmed by loneliness, but there is an incredible well of resilience inside you, waiting to be tapped. You have faced challenges before, and you have survived them. The very fact that you are still here, navigating through difficult times and unfamiliar circumstances, is proof of your inner strength. You may feel vulnerable, uncertain, or even helpless at times, but within you lies the ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow. Your past experiences, the moments where you've overcome adversity, have shaped the person you are today. They have given you the emotional resilience needed to handle the challenges you're currently facing. Even when you don't feel strong, remember that the strength you need is already within you. It's just waiting for you to reconnect. It's important to remember that you are not as isolated as it may seem. The world is full of people who have experienced similar struggles, people who understand the pain of loneliness and the difficulty of navigating a foreign land. You may not have formed those connections yet, but they are waiting for you. Sometimes, the greatest relationships are born out of shared experiences, especially when it comes to overcoming adversity. You may find that the people you meet along your journey will become sources of support, understanding, and companionship. These connections may not happen overnight, but they will come. And when they do, they will remind you that you are not alone in this world. There are others who see you, who understand what you are going through, and who are ready to walk alongside you. Even before those connections come into your life, the simple act of being aware of the possibility of connection can bring a sense of comfort. You may not be able to see it now, but every person you meet and every interaction you have adds another thread to the tapestry of your life. These threads may be small at first, but over time they will weave together to form a network of support, connection, and shared humanity. You will find that you are part of a larger web of relationships that stretches across the globe. And even in your moments of solitude, that web is there, connecting you to others who are walking similar paths. One of the most powerful lessons that loneliness teaches us is the importance of self-reliance. In moments of solitude, we are forced to turn inward, to find ways to comfort ourselves and build emotional resilience. While the connections we form with others are incredibly important, the relationship we have with ourselves is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Learning how to sit with your own thoughts, how to navigate the emotional turbulence of loneliness, and how to find peace within yourself are invaluable skills. These lessons will stay with you long after the initial discomfort of solitude fades. They will give you the confidence to face future challenges with a calm and steady heart, knowing that you can rely on your own strength to guide you through. As you continue to grow and adapt, you will also begin to see the lessons in your solitude. It's easy to view loneliness as something negative, but in reality, it is often a teacher. During these times of isolation, we are forced to reflect on ourselves and our lives in ways that are not always possible when we are surrounded by distractions and constant company. Solitude can provide clarity, giving you the space to understand your desires, your values, and your needs. It can help you become more attuned to your own emotions, allowing you to navigate future relationships with greater awareness and authenticity. The lessons you learn during these moments are not only important for your own growth, but will also allow you to connect with others in deeper, more meaningful ways when the time comes. While loneliness may feel intense and overwhelming now, remember that it is not a permanent state. It is a phase, one that will eventually pass, just as all difficult emotions do. Hold on to the belief that brighter days are ahead. The connections you long for, the sense of belonging you crave, and the joy of companionship are all within reach. It may take time, patience, and perseverance, but they will come. And in the meantime, the strength within you, the lessons you are learning, and the connections you will eventually form will continue to guide you through. You are never truly alone. The love and support of others, the wisdom of your own experiences, and the inner strength you carry with you will all help light your way forward. In the moments when you feel lost or uncertain, remember that these feelings are temporary. They are part of a larger journey, one that is unfolding in ways that you may not yet fully understand. But trust that with every step you take, you are moving closer to the connections, the growth, and the brighter future that await you. Hold on, because the best is yet to come.